Today I'm going to do a review on the Intex Explorer K2. This is an inflatable kayak for two people or one. I use it for one. I use the extra space to put backpack or some gear that I need. I use this to get back and forth with my boat, so basically it's kind of like a boat tender for me. I have a small boat I use it for. I haven't actually got the boat in the water, so that doesn't really matter. But I'm still I've been on the water with it 3 times now, so I'm still testing it out to make sure it's going to hold up okay. And so far, so good. It's actually the material on it, the sides here, and what it's made of is actually it's pretty thick stuff. It weighs, let's see, I think it's about 36 pounds. So that's pretty good. I did have a small one before that wasn't a kayak. It was more of a wider boat type, and it didn't row very good. It didn't track very good. This one tracks really good. In other words, when you paddle, you go straight. Good thing is, if you do want to have 2 people in it, that's great. It does come with, so you get 2 paddles, you get the pump, you get 2 inflatable seats. Get it close into that. So you get 2 inflatable seats. There is just a little cross section here that inflates, a cross section back here that inflates. One side here, the other side there, and then the floor. So you actually have, so this one is 1 chamber, 1. The other side, it's 2 chambers. The floor is 3 chambers. Then you have these small ones, which would basically keep it above water as long as there's not too much weight in here. If it ever, I don't know, got a hole in it or something. Then you have the seats that actually inflate also. So you have plenty of flotation. The oars, I'm not sure if they float or not. They floated when I put it in the water. It didn't sink, but I don't know if it gets waterlogged, whether it would sink or not. It might. So what I've done, I just cut out a small, one of those pool, I think they call it pool noodles, whatever the hell, oops, sorry, whatever they're called, and float things, tubes they put in the pools. I put one of those and I just cut out a small piece of it and put it on the paddle here. I only use 1 paddle because it's just me. The pump is all right. Inflate this in about less than 10 minutes for everything. Basically, put it down, unfold it, then start pumping. I can be ready to go in, I'd say 8 to 10 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes. It inflates really easy. It's just the pump's not the highest quality, that's all. But it does work. And again, I've used it 3 times. I used it various type of weather. And I've had a calm day. I've had a semi-calm day where the winds were about 10 miles an hour. And then I went out in 18-mile-an-hour winds. And I use it on the ocean, but I use it in a harbor, a protected harbor. In fact, if you want to look at a map of Massachusetts and look at Boston Harbor, and if you go down toward the bottom of Boston Harbor, you'll see Hingham Harbor. And if you go further down from that, you'll see the inner Hingham Harbor, and that's the area where I use it in. That's where my boat has a mooring. And so far, it's been excellent. The 18-mile-an-hour winds, when I was in the boat, I sat back here and paddled, and when I went into the wind tries to get underneath here. Because this doesn't weigh much, and it's got a lot of windage to it, so the wind hits the side of it, kind of blows it a little bit. But you can still keep it on track. Sorry about the wire, that's my microphone wire. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to give a demonstration, and you're probably not going to hear the sound when I do the demonstrations with it. Don't worry about that. You'll be able to see it. It's my GoPro I'm going to use, and today the winds are about 15 to 18 miles an hour. Again, it's going to be a windy day out there, so I'm still going to go out and see how it goes. It's pretty stable. Because you have the big tubes on the side, it is pretty stable. I've leaned over the side next to my mooring. I was checking out my mooring and pulling there's 2 lines attached to the mooring ball, and I was actually pulling them up just to make sure the ends were okay and ready to go. And I was leaning over the side and pulling it up, and it was For me, again, I'm 170. Well, I haven't told you this yet. I'm 170, about 5'9", and I had no problem whatsoever. It wasn't going to flip over or anything like that. So, and I actually haven't had that happen yet. When I did go into the wind, as I said before, the wind tries to ride underneath here. So if you're sitting way back here, the wind tries to push this up and can throw you off a little bit, make it a little unsteady for you. What I did is I just took this seat out, moved this seat forward, right around here, so I'm more centered, and I didn't have a problem then. It actually paddled pretty good. You're not going to move through the water like a one of the hard plastic kayaks you might see on the water, but it does pretty good for this product. I got this it was just under $100. I got it for $89 on Amazon, $89.99. The summer's here. The prices took a jump. I just looked at it just a few minutes ago, at the time of this filming. So the prices took a jump, and they're about $129, but still, it's rugged material, and I'd recommend this. I definitely would. I've used it. Again, I don't like to use a product and then if it's not good, I'm not going to recommend it. So I like the product. I use it on again, I'm out on the ocean where there are tidal considerations and currents and wind and waves and stuff like that. So anyways, this probably would be excellent for a lake or inland waterway. It's still fine for a protected waterways. I would say it's good. I wouldn't use it out in big waves or anything like that, or a lot of wind. Again, when I used this in 10-mile-an-hour winds, it was perfect. That's fine. Any more than 12-mile-an-hour winds, I probably wouldn't use it or recommend using it. I'm actually going to go and do a demonstration on it, but where I'm going to be, I do have some protection from some buildings, so I'm not going to get the full brunt of the wind. So that hopefully will show up in the video. If it doesn't, well, you get the idea. Anyways, let me get this inflated and hop in and go. I will show you a picture. If I can't get that, I'll show you a picture of it. Let's see, hold on, here it is on the back. Oh good, this is actually a better picture too. Here's a picture of it inflated on the box. So on the bottom there's Velcro, and then you get snaps on the side which support your back, snaps in, same thing here. This is inflatable, bottom and the back. So it goes onto the Velcro so it doesn't slide back and forth in here. It actually stays right in place. I haven't had a problem yet. It does have a bag that comes with it. I haven't deflated this to put into the bag. I put everything else, the pump and the oars in the bag, and whatever else. Here is the okay, so here's a skeg in the bottom. It's removable, and that'll help keep you tracking right. Basically, when you're paddling in the water, you'll go straight. Does have grab lines, so that's actually really good. And right here it has a handle on this end and on this end, and does have grab lines here too. So so far it's worked out pretty good. So this right here, the pictures it shows on the box is, you can see there's no wind and no currents or anything, but it actually can handle more than that. So let's see, heavy duty puncture resistant vinyl, 3 separate air chambers, but and that's the sides and the floor. That's what 3 chambers are. It has these valves, they call them Boston valves, and they say they're for quick inflation, deflation, and they work really good. These valves are great, and they're for the sides. The bottom one uses just kind of a regular blow-up one, but it works fine. It's an inflatable I-beam floor, and the patch kit included. So anyways, let's get this tested out and see how it goes. And really windy day out. I don't know if the sound's gonna come out on this, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it's we've got about, if you can see the flags over there, I don't know if the flags are showing up, but we've got about 15 miles per hour winds. Got a boat I'm coming up on, and it's actually blowing me. I'm actually sideways to the wind. You see the waves coming in. But anyways, this is how the boat handles, and here's the flotation parts up top, the small ones. They're all labeled too, so they have 2, one's under there, 2, 3, 4, and then one in the back, which would be 5. And anyways, here's your main flotations though. There's these right here. Floor, sides, and it does pretty good. Again, I'm probably in about maybe 10 feet of water, 12 feet of water, so it's almost high tide. Actually, tide is, yeah, it's almost high tide. And yeah, I'm moving along. It's been pushing me sideways, so I'm not into the wind or anything. So, it's really, and but I got my inflatable kayak here, and I'm paddling around, and it's a lot of fun. Again, for something like this, not spending a lot of money for it. It's pretty thick material. It's not like it's not a pool toy, that's for sure. And it's yeah, I can handle this area fine. And I'm in an inner harbor, protected. The wind's probably gonna block out my sound in a moment, but let me give you a tour around the harbor here and make sure I'm not gonna hit anything. About to come up to this boat over here. Out that way, the wind's probably not going to hear this because of the wind probably. Out that way that brings you out to the main harbor, to a Boston harbor. Some more kayakers over here. They're in the hard kayaks, so they're hard plastic kayaks. But again, mine, I can put in the trunk of my car. That's why I keep it in the trunk of my car. Mine deflated, keep in the trunk of the car, or slide it under my bed if I wanted to, or whatever, and easy storage. You can see the wind starting to really blow me around, so I'm actually going to start paddling in now because it's getting strong. I wouldn't advise this. It's actually gusting probably 15 to 18. Steady 15 winds, up to 18 miles an hour. And it's not ideal for this kind of weather. I can still paddle fine, and I can still get wherever I want fine. It's not a big deal. And I'm surprised I haven't hit a boat yet. I'm actually drifting right by the boats, right in between them. But I'd recommend it again. If you got winds between 10 to 12 miles an hour, that's what I'd recommend. But anyway.